Gilligan's Island is a show that has charmed audiences for generations with its simple premise and lovable characters. But behind the scenes, there was drama, controversy, and even real-life adventures that mirrored the show's plot. Today, we're diving into 10 wild facts about Gilligan's Island that will blow your mind and change how you see this classic sitcom forever. From contract disputes to bizarre fan theories and even a real-life stranding, these stories reveal the untold side of one of TV's most iconic shows. So, sit back, relax, and get ready to uncover the secrets of Gilligan's Island. All facts come from an exclusive document titled Gilligan's Island, 10 wild facts that'll blow your mind. Let's start it. 1. The theme song controversy, a fight for fairness. The theme song, The Ballad of Gilligan's Isle, written by Sherwood Schwartz and George Weil, is one of television's most recognizable tunes. Its catchy lyrics succinctly introduce the show's premise: a group of 7 castaways stranded after a 3-hour tour gone awry. However, the original version, used in the first season, sparked controversy by omitting 2 core characters, the Professor and Mary, and referring to them only as "and the rest." This decision was driven by practical constraints, as the song needed to fit within a tight time frame, and network executives initially viewed these characters as secondary. According to the unofficial Gilligan's Island handbook by Joey Green, the Professor and Mary were considered second-bill co-stars, acknowledged only in the closing credits. This omission frustrated fans, who felt it diminished the ensemble's unity and sparked discontent among the cast. The Professor, with his ingenious inventions, and Mary and the relatable girl next door were integral to the show's dynamic, and their exclusion felt like a snub. Bob Denver, who played the bumbling first mate Gilligan, took a bold stand against this oversight. Reports suggest he was so upset by the omission that he threatened to quit or move his name to the end credits unless the lyrics were revised. As noted on the Gilligan's Island wiki, Denver personally approached the studio, advocating for Russell Johnson and Dawn Wells to be included in the opening credits. His efforts paid off, and by the second season, the theme song was re-recorded by the eligibles, replacing "and the rest" with the Professor and Mary, and this change was more than cosmetic. It reflected the growing popularity of Johnson and Wells' characters. Sherwood Schwartz later acknowledged in his memoir, Inside Gilligan's Island, that the initial omission was a misstep. The word "and the rest" were replaced with the Professor and Mary, and originally cast as second-bill co-stars and credited at the end of the show, the Professor and Mary Ann's increasing popularity demanded top billing. Cultural impact and legacy. The theme song controversy highlights the importance of character recognition in television. Denver's advocacy demonstrated his commitment to fairness and the show's integrity, ensuring that all cast members received their due. The re-recorded song, performed by the Wellingtons in its original form and later by the eligibles, became a cultural staple, often parodied and referenced in media. Its evolution from a controversial oversight to an inclusive anthem underscores the power of fan and cast feedback in shaping television history. As Slash Film notes, there's a lot of history to the Ballad of Gilligan's Isle and several interesting stories of its making, including this widely known controversy. 2. Tina Louise's unhappiness. The cost of typecasting. Tina Louise, who portrayed the glamorous movie star Ginger Grant, brought a wealth of experience to Gilligan's Island. A trained actress who studied under Lee Strasberg at the Actors Studio, Louise had starred in Broadway productions like Lil Abner and appeared in films such as God's Little Acre, 1958. When she was cast as Ginger, she was performing in the Broadway musical Fade Out, Fade and alongside Carol Burnett. CBS casting director Ethel Winan approached her with the role, describing Ginger as a Lucille Ball/Marilyn Monroe type character, which Louise believed would showcase her acting range. However, Louise quickly became disillusioned. As she told Forbes in 2025, "I always enjoyed my work. I left a Broadway show to do it, but I got there, and the director wanted it to be a more sarcastic kind of character. And so, then I didn't even want to work on it anymore." Expecting a starring role, she was disappointed to find Gilligan's Island was an ensemble piece, with Ginger often reduced to a one-dimensional caricature of a Hollywood starlet. Louise's dissatisfaction led to tensions on set. Reports from MeTV and Grunge suggest she distanced herself from co-stars, often sitting alone during rehearsals. A rumored feud with Bob Denver arose after he allegedly spread gossip about her, though neither confirmed the details publicly. Louise's primary concern was typecasting, as she feared Ginger's glamorous persona would overshadow her aspirations for serious dramatic roles. In a Wall Street Journal interview, she stated, "Money's never been my god," but acknowledged that the role ruined her movie career by limiting her opportunities. After the show ended in 1967, Louise avoided Gilligan's Island-related projects, declining to appear in reunion movies like Rescue from Gilligan's Island in 1978, where Ginger was recast with Judith Baldwin. She continued acting in films like The Wrecking Crew, 1969, and The Stepford Wives, 1975, but never achieved the dramatic recognition she sought, as Wikipedia notes. Although she continued to work in film and made guest appearances on television, she claimed repeatedly that playing Ginger had ruined her movie career, a complicated legacy. Despite her frustrations, Louise's portrayal of Ginger made her a pop culture icon. Fans adore the character's sultry charm, sparking the enduring Ginger or Marion debate. In later years, Louise softened her stance, telling the New York Times in 2025, "I'm very grateful for all the things that have happened to me and the opportunities that I've had." She has since focused on other pursuits, including writing children's books and volunteering as a literacy advocate. 3. Alan Hale Jr. S. Heroic Dedication. Filming through pain. Alan Hale Jr., who played the skipper, was the heart of Gilligan's Island, both on screen and off. His dedication was exemplified during the first season when he broke his arm falling from a coconut tree while filming a stunt. Determined not to disrupt production, Hale concealed the injury, using long sleeves and clever camera angles to hide his swollen wrist. According to Sherwood Schwartz's memoir, Inside Gilligan's Island, it wasn't until the season's wrap party that Schwartz noticed the injury and learned Hale had been working through pain for weeks. When Schwartz asked how Hale managed to perform physical tasks like lifting coconuts in Bob Denver, Hale replied simply, "It wasn't easy." This understated response belied the significant physical toll, as Hale's role required him to be the castaway strongman, often engaging in slapstick comedy that demanded physicality. His selflessness ensured the crew's paychecks were secure, earning him immense respect. Hale's commitment extended beyond this incident. As noted by MeTV, he frequently visited children's hospitals dressed as a skipper, bringing joy to young patients. Unlike some co-stars, Hale embraced his role, reprising it in reunion movies and animated series, like The New Adventures of Gilligan, 1974 to 1977. His love for the character was evident in his post-show ventures, including opening Alan Hale's Lobster Barrel, a Los Angeles restaurant where he greeted customers in his skipper's cap. 4. Financial struggles. No residuals from syndication. Gilligan's Island became a syndication powerhouse, airing continuously in the 1970s and 1980s and generating significant revenue. Sherwood Schwartz reportedly earned $90 million from reruns alone, as noted by Dawn Wells in a 2012 HuffPost interview. However, due to 1960s contract norms, the cast received no residuals from syndication. Actors were typically paid per episode with limited rerun payments, often only for the first 5 repeats, leaving them with little long-term financial benefit. Dawn Wells, who played Marianne, debunked rumors that she received residuals due to a contract amendment, telling Forbes in 2016, "A misconception is that we must be wealthy, rolling in the dough, because we got residuals. We didn't really get a dime. I think my salary was $750 a week." In 2024 dollars, this equates to about $7,507 weekly, a decent but not lavish sum. Bob Denver similarly remarked, "I saw my face on TV every day, but got $0 from it," highlighting the cast's financial exclusion. The lack of residuals had lasting impacts. Wells faced financial hardship later in life, resorting to crowdfunding in 2018 to cover medical bills after a severe injury in the 2008 financial crash. As reported by Looper, a GoFundMe campaign raised over $180,000 to help her manage medical expenses and IRS penalties. Other cast members, like Russell Johnson, also expressed resentment over missing out on syndication profits, according to the Washington Post. This disparity underscores the inequities in the television industry during the 1960s, where creators and producers reaped significant rewards while actors did not. The Gilligan's Island cast experience sparked discussions about residual reforms, which have since improved compensation for modern actors. 5. The abrupt cancellation, a network power play. Gilligan's Island enjoyed solid ratings during its 3-season run, ranking 44th out of 101 shows in its final season, according to Wikipedia. The cast and crew fully expected a 4th season, but CBS abruptly canceled the show in 1967 to make room for Gunsmoke, a Western series favored by Babe Paley, wife of CBS President William Paley. The decision was made at the last minute, leaving no time for a proper series finale, and the cast learned of it through the press. Bob Denver called it the most ridiculous cancellation in TV history, as quoted in the user's query, reflecting the team's frustration. Sherwood Schwartz, in Inside Gilligan's Island, expressed shock. It was a shock to both the cast, crew, and me. At the time of its cancellation, the series was ranked 44th out of 101 shows in total. Fans flooded CBS with letters, but the decision stood as Mental Floss reports. The cancellation stemmed from a scheduling conflict. Gunsmoke, initially slated for cancellation after 12 seasons, was reinstated due to Babe Paley's influence, as noted in How I Escaped from Gilligan's Island by writer-producer William Frug. CBS moved Gunsmoke to Gilligan's Island's Monday night slot, effectively ending the sitcom. Gunsmoke went on to run for 8 more seasons, becoming one of television's longest-running series, while Gilligan's Island was left without closure. Enduring legacy. Despite its abrupt end, Gilligan's Island thrived in syndication, becoming a cultural milestone. The show's final episode, Gilligan the Goddess, aired on April 17, 1967, leaving the castaways stranded. Subsequent TV movies, like Rescue from Gilligan's Island 1978, provided some resolution, but the lack of a proper finale remains a point of contention. 6. The Cold War Metaphor Theory. A societal microcosm? A compelling fan theory, popularized by the 2018 documentary The Gilligan Manifesto, directed by Seven Soling, posits that Gilligan's Island serves as a metaphor for Cold War America, with each character representing a societal archetype. This theory suggests the show subtly critiques capitalism and reflects the era's tensions, though its intentionality remains debated. The Gilligan Manifesto argues that Gilligan's Island, which premiered just 1 year after the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis, depicts 7 Americans in a post-apocalyptic analog where they rebuild society. Remarkably, the society they create is described as a communist paradise, with shared resources and no class distinctions, except for the working-class heroes, Gilligan and Mary, and interviews with actors Russell Johnson and Dawn Wells further support this view. Johnson noted Schwartz's interest in exploring how diverse personalities interact in isolation, while Wells highlighted the show's focus on cooperation. The Cold War metaphor theory has been discussed in academic circles, notably in Americana, the Journal of American Popular Culture, lending it some credibility. However, critics argue that the theory may overinterpret the show's intent. Some reviews of the Gilligan Manifesto describe it as an overambitious college thesis, suggesting that the communist interpretation is more the documentarian's perspective than Schwartz's explicit goal. Schwartz himself emphasized the show's comedic intent, focusing on diverse characters learning to coexist, which complicates the theory's assertiveness. Despite the debate, the theory resonates with the 1960s context, a time of heightened nuclear fears and ideological conflicts. The show's premiere in 1964, shortly after the Cuban Missile Crisis, places it in a period when Americans were grappling with the threat of global conflict, making the metaphor plausible even if not fully intentional. 7. The darker original concept. From dystopia to comedy. The original pilot episode of Gilligan's Island, titled Marooned, filmed in 1963 but not aired until 1992, presented a starkly different vision from the series that became a cultural icon. It included a darker, possibly post-apocalyptic subplot involving nuclear testing, which CBS deemed too grim for a family sitcom, leading to a significant tonal shift. CBS executives found the pilot's tone too grim for a sitcom audience expecting escapism. The network requested a shift to slapstick humor, resulting in a lighthearted series that aired from 1964 to 1967. The nuclear testing subplot was largely abandoned, though traces remained in early episodes, such as mentions of restricted zones or unexplained phenomena like a World War II naval mine in the chain of command. This decision was likely influenced by the era's sensitivity to nuclear issues. The 1960s saw extensive U.S. nuclear testing in the Pacific, notably at Bikini Atoll, where 67 tests were conducted between 1946 and 1958, causing significant environmental and health impacts. A sitcom with overt nuclear themes might have been too unsettling for viewers, still reeling from the Cuban Missile Crisis. 8. Russell Johnson's heroic past. A veteran's influence. Russell Johnson, who portrayed the professor, brought real-life heroism to his role. A World War II veteran, Johnson served as a bombardier in the U.S. Army Air Forces, flying 44 combat missions in B-25 bombers. In 1945, his plane was shot down over the Philippines, earning him a Purple Heart for injuries sustained. Using the GI Bill, he studied acting, bringing military discipline to the set. Known as One Take Russ, Johnson consulted experts to ensure his scientific dialogue was accurate, adding authenticity to the professor's resourcefulness. His wartime experience lent depth to the character, grounding the show's absurdity with quiet strength. For example, in episodes like Home Sweet Hut, the professor's practical solutions reflect Johnson's disciplined approach, making the character a standout. 9. A real-life stranding. Life imitates art. In a surreal twist, the Gilligan's Island cast was stranded during a promotional shoot off California's coast. Their charter boat drifted off course in heavy fog, losing contact with the shore for hours. Rescued by the Coast Guard, Bob Denver quipped, "Well, now we know how it really feels." Some footage from this incident was incorporated into the show's opening credits, blurring the line between fiction and reality, and adding an ironic layer to the series' premise. 10. A lasting cultural legacy. Beyond the island. Gilligan's Island has left an indelible mark on popular culture. Its 98 episodes, syndicated in 30 languages, have entertained generations. The characters, Gilligan's bumbling charm, the skipper's hearty leadership, the professor's ingenuity, Ginger's glamour, Marion's wholesomeness, and the Howl's eccentricity, have become archetypes referenced in shows like Friends and The Simpsons. The show's universal themes of survival, cooperation, and humor continue to resonate, ensuring its status as a timeless classic. Gilligan's Island is more than a sitcom. It's a cultural touchstone with a rich history of drama, heroism, and hidden meanings. From Bob Denver's fight for fairness to Tina Louise's struggles with typecasting, Alan Hale Jr.'s dedication, and the cast's financial challenges, the show's behind-the-scenes stories are as compelling as its on-screen antics. The Cold War metaphor, darker original concept, Russell Johnson's heroism, and the real-life stranding add layers of intrigue, while the show's cancellation and enduring legacy highlight its complex journey. These 10 wild facts reveal why Gilligan's Island remains a beloved part of television history. These facts reveal Gilligan's Island as a complex tapestry of human struggle, creativity, and cultural impact. They elevate from a simple sitcom to a case study in resilience and legacy, with stakes that resonate in today's industry debates about fair treatment and creative control. Even with these insights, questions linger. Was the Cold War metaphor intentional? The document doesn't say if creators ever confirmed this theory, leaving us to wonder if they embedded such symbolism. Are there more untold stories in the set? With a production this chaotic, it's likely there are additional tales of conflict or camaraderie waiting to be uncovered. The bonus fact in the document is particularly intriguing. Some viewers thought Gilligan's Island was real, sending letters to the Coast Guard to rescue the castaways. The realistic title sequence fueled this confusion, prompting an official statement clarify it was fiction. Dawn Wells joked that fans offered to send boats, and Bob Denver was once approached in an airport by someone wanting to rescue him. This raises questions about television's power in a pre-internet era. How did such misconceptions spread? Are there other shows that blur reality and fiction so convincingly? The pattern suggests Gilligan's Island tapped into a unique cultural immersion. What's next for the show's legacy? Will new stories emerge from archives or cast memoirs? These questions keep the conversation alive. Share your thoughts in the comments. Which fact shocked you most? Do you have theories about the show's deeper meanings? Like and subscribe for more deep dives into TV history. and let's keep exploring the island's secrets together.